let the client decide what's valuable and what isn't. Don't feel like you have to be a superstar and hit a home run or a grand slam on every session. Think of it as just like hitting singles. You're just getting on base. Sometimes you'll hit a home run and the session will be amazing, and sometimes it'll just be a regular session. And that's okay. I believe that coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth. I believe that you are infinitely powerful. I believe that success is inevitable. I believe we have all the time in the world.
Hey, Christian. First of all, I wanted to just say, because I know some of my questions, it's just like James, go heal it.
That's my answer to everything. Okay, go ahead.
So I started doing a little of that, and what was something for me was I probably could have started doing that a couple months ago. One of the things I see that's a concern for me about my coaching is I'm bad at limiting the time. My boundaries as far as limiting the time.
Yeah, a lot of coaches aren't that good at that. Who here feels like, you get really wishy-washy about when the session ends?
And it's just I feel like, okay, I haven't made it yet, but if we go a little longer, that's going to make it click, and that'll make it valuable.
I think one of the things to keep in mind are two things. Number one, let the client decide what's valuable and what isn't. I remember years ago having a session with a new client. Did all sorts of super masterful kung fu, coach fu, world-rocking stuff. And at the end of the session, I said, what did you find most valuable? He said, just being able to hear myself think. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hear yourself think? I'm like, didn't you hear what I said? I said this, I said that. What did you say? No, I'm just But, there's so much value. This is one of the things I've said a lot of times I have not said here at all, but I want to make sure you know, which is that just the container of coaching in and of itself, the environment of having somebody to talk to regularly, week in, week out, month in, month out over time, just that container, that environment, just having somebody talk about their goals, talk about their challenges, have a safe space. When you have a conversation with someone, at best, it's 50-50, Maybe if you talk a lot, maybe you'll dominate the conversation. Maybe you talk a lot more, But I have friends, they're the big talkers. I'm a really good listener, which is fine. But, when is it ever 100% you? Or maybe 80-20, You want to be a human being on the other side of the phone, and, you can certainly sprinkle in some things about yourself, or maybe a story that you think is going to really make an impact for them. Just be careful not to fall into the same trap where you make it all about you and make the conversation back to 50-50 or 80-20 the opposite way, right, where you're doing all the talking and the client's doing all the listening. But even if you are doing the talking, it's really, it's because it's in service of the client. Having a conversation with somebody that's all about you is very powerful, even one time, let alone all the time for a whole year. So in any given session, who knows what the value is going to be? So just relax. Even if they didn't get all the value, just let the cumulative impact of the coaching make a big, let the coaching do the coaching. Let the coaching do the work. Don't feel like you have to be a superstar and hit a home run or a grand slam on every session. Think of it as just like hitting singles. You're just getting on base. Sometimes you'll hit a home run and the session will be amazing, and sometimes it'll just be a regular session. And that's okay.
Okay.
Was that helpful for anyone in here?
Yes.
Okay.
Another thing, I've spoken to it, but it's not so much clicking for me, is I get funky around the whole thing of money.
Yeah.
And I get, part of that's my relationship to money and
100%.
how I value
100%.
what I give. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
And I'm not sure how to impact that.
Yeah. Instant Miracle and Peace process. Are you in our RBS program?
No, I've got a coach.
Okay, well,
So
great.
I'll take that with the coach, I guess.
Yeah, if they don't have, hopefully they have Instant Miracle and Peace process.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay,
Yes.
great. So it's one of the coaches we've trained. Maybe
Yes.
not one of the coaches on our team.
Well, correct.
Okay, great. Good for you.
Okay, so it's like heal it.
Heal that shit. That's
Okay.
right. I mean, what advice could I possibly give you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm
yeah.
in this thing of
None. Yeah.
how do I get powerful with, part of it is, I think, probably my value and worthiness and
Yeah.
something.
Well, that's not a one-shot fix.
Oh, come on.
You've come so far, James. Yeah. You've come so far. Yeah. So you've got a ways to go, and so does everybody. Yeah. Do you think I don't have any self-esteem issues? I do. Yeah. Worthiness issues? Sure. But compare how they are now to 20 years ago. I mean, it's like, I've come a long, long way. And you've come a really long way in a short amount of time. This is something that you guys don't get, is by being a part of this community and coming to these events and getting the healing, you guys are growing way faster than normal human beings. I mean, Alina was talking about like, oh my gosh, it's only been like 2.5 years since she joined Biggs, where she didn't even have a business. She had a business. She was a photographer. She had never coached anyone. She didn't have any info products. She didn't have any of that stuff. In 2.5 years, now she's grown her business to $400,000. And set up for even more for this year. And she said, man, it feels like it's been like 4 or 5 years. But, time flies, A, when you're having fun, and B, when you're working on your stuff. You grow fast.